A common thing I hear among colleagues is once you turn 62, you should trade in your mortgage for the kind where the payment is optional. That kind of mortgage is a reverse mortgage. Now, the kind of reverse mortgage we're going to talk about today is the HECM, the Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. It is the FHA type. There are other types of reverse mortgages depending on your state and availability, but this is kind of the hallmark. We're going to go over this one today. I like this one a lot. All right, so why would you trade in your mortgage payment for a reverse mortgage and make payments? Well, there's a very good reason to, because of this magical piece called the line of credit within the reverse mortgage. In retirement years, life events happen, as you probably have already experienced or seen friends and family, and those life events affect the financials a lot, whether it's a medical event or perhaps having to help friends or family, or a water heater goes out, or you need a new car. Whatever those expenses are, they generally start to add up. And when you're on a fixed income, it's a tough decision to figure out where you're going to pull that money from. Are you really going to pull from a retirement account where you might be taxed 30% for doing so? Ooh, hard decision to make for people who don't have a reverse mortgage. Let's go into it. All right, so why would you just get a reverse mortgage if you're 62 and you don't need a reverse mortgage? Well, because you want one. As I've said in some videos before, my clients generally fall into two buckets: my failure to plans and my planners. And the failure to plans often aren't even failure to plans. They're just had extreme life events come up. But there are some people who wait to do the reverse mortgage until the very last minute. Now, that is very bad old advice. When the reverse mortgage first came out, that was always looked at like, okay, we'll do that eventually. But now there's actually studies showing put the reverse mortgage in place early and use what we call the coordinated withdrawal strategy. I'm not going to go into that today. There's other videos on that. But that's one of the reasons that you would actually do this, so that you can access your home's equity. I can't tell you how many people I talk to and they say, "Oh, my home's equity, that's my safety net, that's my nest egg." And yes, it is. How are you going to access it? Well, that's the thing. The reverse mortgage is the way you're going to access it. So let's dive in. What I start with here is I want to show you, most people think as soon as I get a reverse mortgage, well, there goes all my equity. And as you can see from this chart, that's not true at all. Let's see what we're looking at. So the legend is down here. Well, my captions might be over that. So the legend is down here. So we've got the red, which is the loan balance, the available L.L.C, line of credit, which is the green right here. The reserve equity is the blue right here, and then the projected home value at 4% appreciation going up over time. Depending on your market, this or the time you're watching this video, this may or may not be accurate, but we have to use 4%. FHA requires us to use that because it is the long-term national average of home equity appreciation, home appreciation, not equity appreciation, but home appreciation across the nation since 1987. So again, it may or may not be accurate for your market. In order to know your specific appreciation rate, you'll want to look back to what your home was worth 20, 30 years ago. Maybe you maybe owned it then, maybe you didn't. But that's going to end your zip code. So 4% is the number we're using here. For some markets, it's conservative. For some markets, it's high. It's the number we're using. All right, so what is being shown here? This chart here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, it's kind of small. I got to get some software to make that bigger, don't I? All right, this chunk here is showing the home's equity. So we are using Bill and Barb borrower. Now, these are an actual borrower's numbers. I changed the names for privacy and for privacy. All right, so this is showing, look at how much equity there is on day one of getting the reverse mortgage, or year one. Now, with this strategy, the way I actually structured this is that they would keep making payments for a little while. It makes a huge difference. And this is why I say trade in your mortgage for a reverse mortgage, but make the payments. You're not trading in a mortgage that requires a payment for a mortgage that you're not going to make a payment, although that is possible. And that's what a lot of people do. They wait to do the reverse mortgage until they're ready to have no more payments. And that's fine, but this is a much better strategy if you have the time and capacity to plan ahead. I'll tell you, your loan process will be a lot easier. The people who wait often have some credit damage. Maybe their income isn't so high. Maybe they're not working. Something happened. If you do this while you're still working and actually make the payments, this can provide a lot of power for you to access your home equity over time. Let's take a look. So what I've structured in here, the custom payments, I just modeled $2,000 a month paid for the first year, every month. And so this is really truly trading in your mortgage payment, right? If you're making a mortgage payment to the tune of $2,000, well, let's refinance into a reverse mortgage. Yes, it's a mortgage just like any other mortgage. It's just different in how it works. It's a lien on title. You are still the owner. It's just different in how it works. The payments are optional. The payments I've structured here are $2,000. Now, this is just my software showing you what's possible. You never have to make an agreement saying, I will pay this much at these times. You send in your money when you want or don't, and you stop when you want. For this model, I have shown 6 years of payments. So that gets somebody, and this isn't even a working borrower, right? We've got somebody at age 74, and they're making payments for the first 6 years. That has a tremendous impact on their loan balance, number one, not growing, but also the line of credit increasing significantly. You can see that here. The line of credit gets really, really big over time. Now, quick clarification, the reverse mortgage does not end at 100 years old. It ends at maturity events. There are other videos about that. I'm not going to go into that here, but just keep in mind as we look at these numbers, this is an arbitrary endpoint at 100 years old, but you could actually have a reverse mortgage up until you're like 150. Nobody's gotten there yet, but it is meant to be in place until you pass away, ideally, or sell or move out of the home permanently or stop paying your taxes and insurance. Make sure you pay those taxes and insurance. All right, let's take a look at the numbers here. My little bubble is over some of the numbers. Let's go down. There we go. All right, so we've got the home value of $1.4 million. The initial loan balance, they had a mortgage, so they just traded in their existing mortgage for a different type of mortgage. So they had a loan that we did pay off with the reverse mortgage. That initial loan balance is $228. The initial line of credit was already pretty big. They've got a lot of equity here. So the initial line of credit was $265, and the equity in the home was $1.1. It's a really good situation here. It gets better. Let's check it out. Just by paying $2,000 a month in that first year, you can see their loan balance actually does go down. At the same time, the line of credit increases by not only the amount they've paid, but there's actually a growth factor on that. So you can see that here, the line of credit in year one was $265, but in year two, it's $310. That's quite a bit more than $24,000, right? If they paid $2,000 a month for 12 months, that's $24,000. That would only increase the line of credit to like $290. But we're at $310. Oh my gosh, pretty cool stuff here, right? They don't want you to have to refinance your reverse mortgage all the time. So they know your home will likely appreciate, and as you get older, you get access to larger loan amounts. So they built this growth rate so that people don't have to refinance to get access to more of that equity. Pretty cool concept. Then add in that you make the payments, and oh my goodness, this thing is really, really powerful. All right, now we're looking at the equity increase, right? Big misconception. Oh, as soon as I get a reverse mortgage, there goes all my equity. Not true, unless you want it to be true. There are reverse mortgages where we can just take a huge lump sum all at once, and then, in 10 to 20, 30 years, wherever it lands, there's not really equity remaining. That is possible. I don't like structuring things that way unless that is the goal or that is the only option. Let's keep going. So we're paying for the first 6 years. So that takes us out to age 80, right? Let's scroll up here to age 80. So we're going to stop making payments at age 80. We've paid the loan balance down to $174. We've increased our line of credit to over $500,000. We're almost at $600,000 right there. And now we stop making payments. Now what happens on that turnaround? Well, because you paid in for the first few years, this makes an amazing difference. So now the loan balance is going to grow, right? We're not paying that mortgage anymore. So there is interest and mortgage insurance being added to this every month. So the loan balance does grow. Not paying it. It's got to be paid somehow. The available line of credit still increases. So you're not paying into it anymore. This is just the growth rate, but the growth rate is really powerful the larger the line of credit is. The larger the number that growth rate is on, the larger the growth actually is. So this is a fantastic strategy to increase that line of credit for whatever may happen in the future. Then I want you to be sure that the equity here of 1.5 is already including that line of credit. So it's just saying that of the 1.5, it's almost 1.6, of the 1.5 million in equity, you can access up to 592 of that, 592,000 of that. It's already included. Once you do borrow that money, then it goes into the loan balance. Cool thing about the reverse mortgage line of credit, it cannot be frozen simply because the real estate market crashes or values start to decline. We see that happen with virtually all other line of credits. They are frozen when the real estate market declines. You may have had this experience or know friends and family that did in 2008. Virtually everyone who had any kind of line of credit that was not the HECM got a letter in the mail that said, can't pull from this line of credit anymore, but keep making that monthly payment or else, and that or else was real, right? There was a time where we had a lot of foreclosures. The happiest people on the block at that point were the people who had the reverse mortgage. And this is why, because their line of credit was big and growing and it wasn't frozen. They were the ones who were able to help their friends and family in that time. Let's keep looking. So we're no longer making payments, but we're also not drawing from the line of credit. It's there, it's growing. For a couple like this would be a really good long-term care strategy, right? Or whatever might happen. Maybe they're planning for a new roof or redoing the pool, or they know the AC is going to go out. Whatever it is, you've got this large line of credit that is growing for whatever might happen. If you don't use it, it is just equity in your property, but at least you've had access to it. All right, so look at how big it gets. Look at age 88, say somebody needs care and we don't have long-term care insurance, or perhaps it's just not enough to pay for the cost of care that we need. Care is quite expensive. I help a lot of families with that. The line of credit is $1 million at this point. That's pretty awesome in my book. All right, now let's take a look at a different strategy. Let's take a look at, well, what if I never want the loan balance to grow? What if I made payments the whole time to keep the loan balance from ever growing? Well, you can do that too. And if you wanted to do that, that monthly payment is actually even less. So we just modeled $2,000 a month. Well, to keep the loan from ever growing, the interest only, quote unquote, interest only type payment, it's interest and mortgage insurance, that would be $1,400 a month. If you paid $1,402 and 37 cents a month, that loan balance would never increase. Now, for a lot of you watching this, you're probably thinking, that's actually less than my existing mortgage payment. And you're telling me I could create this huge line of credit over time by just doing that? Yes, yes, you can. Now, a lot of people who do the reverse mortgage are looking at it because they need to. And then there's a lot of people who would never really need the reverse mortgage, but they're putting it in place just in case because of this concept. This is more of a higher level financial concept. So congratulate yourself for being here today and seeing this. Right, let's go down and see how the actual loan, so you can see it doesn't change. 228 the whole time. You keep that loan balance from growing. The available line of credit does grow, not as quickly, but still it's pretty good. We pass $500,000 in about 6 years. Do we get to $1 million? Yes, we do. We get to $1 million right down here in age 87. All right, that looks great. Now let's say, what if we decide, you know what, the payments are optional and we actually don't want to make them? Well, that still looks pretty good. I think I forgot to go over the value at the beginning. Oh no, we saw it on there. And this is for like a 74-year-old borrower. We are in 2026, the way the HECM works today. All right. So we are looking at the loan balance here with never making a single payment. Now with the reverse mortgage, you can make payments. You don't have to. If you send the money in, they will, if you send a check in, they'll of course cash it. It will go towards mortgage insurance, then interest if it's larger than that loan, the loan balance, the principal balance. You could always get that money right back out in the form of this line of credit. But this is what it looks like even if they never make a single payment. So you can trade in your mortgage for a mortgage that has no payment and truly not make payments and still have the best of both worlds, right? The loan balance is not growing off the charts here. It's a huge misconception. And frankly, I will say that used to be more true. They changed the loan limit. So the biggest complaint I get in my day is, well, why can't I borrow more? Well, because you used to be able to borrow a whole lot more. They used to lend a lot more of the home's value. And then people didn't have that much equity left over. They didn't like that. So that we changed the program. I didn't do it, but they changed the program so that there is equity left over. Now it's meant to be a better balance between the home's equity and the cash flow and the long-term equity. All right. Now the loan balance does increase, but it's not fast. So this is the situation where you're not making any payments. People think, oh, well, then the loan balance is going to just grow like crazy. Well, there's two factors I want you to remember here. First, the loan balance is growing. This number is smaller though. And at the same time, your equity or your property's value is increasing. You can see the home value here. This is a real big number. In any case, even if your home's not worth 1.4, in any case, it's a much larger number than the loan balance. That's just how they designed it. So your home value appreciating at 4% grows much faster because that growth is on a bigger number. So keep that in mind as you look at the reverse mortgage. It is not a stagnant, well, there goes all my equity, because equity depends on your home value. And that home value generally appreciates long term than it generally has always appreciated. That's why we use that 4%. All right. So in this case, we're not making payments. So let's take a look at the line of credit. It does reach $500,000 at age 83, so not that much longer. Now, I want to clarify that, and you don't end up using it, but you're not making payments either. So, right, your budget is already improved or your lifestyle is enhanced, who knows, whatever you're using this for. But let's say if in year 4, we've got a line of credit of $355,000. 55,000 of that, leaving 300,000 on the line of credit. Well, that 300,000 is what will continue to grow. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you take, whatever is left grows. All right. And that's pretty much what I wanted to show you today. Trade in your existing mortgage with a required payment for a mortgage that has a optional payment, and keep making the payment if it makes sense. But if some life event comes up, you have the option of saying, you know what, our budget got tight. We're going to stop making this payment, or maybe we're just going to skip next month. It is totally up to you. I think this is putting you in the driver's seat of your cash flow and how you manage your home's equity. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you got value out of this, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I so appreciate every like, comment, and subscription. I am trying to grow this thing to get the information out to more people. Thank you for being here.